Great to see everyone today. Let's get started talking to Candace, also known as CM Barnes, on her way to BookCon in New York right now, and Stuart McKinnon and James Lewis. I'm not sure where you guys are geographically, but if you could each introduce yourselves with a short line of what you write, where you are, and when you got started selling books directly, maybe you could start, Candace.
Sure. So my pen name is CM Barnes. I am based out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and I am a completely independent author. I released my debut novel Mother's Day of last year, and I signed up for Tertulia short after because people kept asking, like, do you have a website? Do you have a website? And I did not. And I did not have the time to build one from scratch. And being independent, you typically can't afford to build one from scratch right away. So Tertulia was a great option for me. It just was very user friendly and it didn't have the option to sell direct. And I filled out one of those forms like, do you have some feedback? And one of my big feedbacks was, I wish there was a way to sell directly from my website. And the response I got was, we're working on that. And then, oh, then it rolled out. And I sold my first ebook, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it was so easy, so much easier than the process of, and this is no disrespect to Amazon because it's a great place for new authors, but it was so easy to upload my file, set my price, um, get emails if readers had an issue with the file, change the file if there was a mistake, and push it back out to users. And then I saw there was a platform to sell print directly, and so I'm also rolling that out on my site with autographed copies, which I have a lot of my readers asking for, and they would rather not utilize PayPal. They would rather directly purchase from the author. And I am excited about that because you can control your quality of books going out the door as well if you're shipping them yourself. So that is what has made me extremely excited about the option to sell directly.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. It's super
Yeah.
good kind of foundation for us. And first of all, a few lessons here, people. It pays to fill out surveys. Your wish is our command. I'm glad it's been easy for you. Stuart, would you mind sharing your experience so far, selling books in general, selling books with Tertulia, where you're dialing in from, and a little about what you write?
Sure. So my name is Stuart Grabar, but my pen name is Stuart McKinnon because McKinnon is my middle name. I write science fiction. I created my first book about 2 years ago. It's called Planet Nine, and it's about a newly discovered planet that collides with Earth. When I launched that book on Amazon, I also found your website and created the website, and also put links on the website to buy the book or and give a little bit of description about what the book's about and about myself. Just recently, I upgraded to Pro so I could sell the books off of the website, which right now I haven't had any orders yet. So hopefully, when the second book comes out very soon, that will start to take off. Also in the process of having an audiobook created, so I want to also see if I can get that posted on the website as well. But as for my location, in a town called Drake, which is a little bit north of Boston. I'm originally from Florida, but I migrated up here many years ago. I am retired, so my hobby now is completing the three-book series regarding Planet Nine. So it's been wonderful. Your website's been really good to me. It's really simple to use, easy to set up, and I really appreciate the ease of that. I love the how easy you can flow through and create things. I do have a couple questions, but I'll save it towards the end. But I appreciate stumbling upon this and actually getting involved in developing my website from you guys.
Fantastic. Well, there is a lot more that we want to do with Pro, and that goes to people that want to grow their audience. They want to create more sophisticated sales funnels to convert people, multi-book sales. You've got a second book, you've got a third, you want to bundle things. So we've got a lot more to come, and hope to make this really powerful for authors like you. Thank you for that intro.
Yeah, sure.
Jim, you prefer Jim over James, right?
Yes.
Hi, Jim. Tell
Hi.
us.
So I write mostly mysteries, although there's a World War II novel set, oddly enough, in Canada, and a standalone, what I will call a family drama. We're about to finish my 11th novel right now, so I've been writing for a few years here. I recently I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania now, but I've lived all over the country. I recently moved my website from a WordPress site that I had built over the years to Tertulia, and I did it for two reasons. One was cost, and the other was simply that it was Tertulia looked to me to be very straightforward and simple, with built with the tools I needed, whereas with WordPress, it was just a lot of constant maintenance. I have not regretted the move at all. I've just started offering my ebooks for sale. I have not yet done the same with print books. I'm getting poised for the release of the 11th novel, in which I will really promote the idea of come to me. I found the setup of the sales site absolutely easy as pie. I write all my books in Scrivener, and I compile in Vellum, and so it was very easy to take the Vellum PDF files and simply upload them. I think I did the whole thing, the 10 books, in an hour and a half. It was just really straightforward, as is everything on Tertulia. And if anything is not straightforward, you just simply write Ilya, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, she'll respond.
Just try not to do it at 3 in the morning, but we're here for you all. So, no, thank you for that. That's great to hear that all three of you had a pretty easy time in starting to use Tertulia. I just want to applaud the people in the chat right here answering questions for each other. Really interesting, great questions about how, just really getting into the nitty-gritty about shipping integrations, book funnel integrations. SN St. Clair, you're hired. You're like really answering these questions super well. So I appreciate that. Thank you for being so generous as always with each other. So we'll lift out some of those questions. I will take a moderator's privilege for if you wish that we could bolt on something right now to the Sell Direct experience or the Pro experience, what would be the thing you really want?
For me, I think for the Sell Direct experience, so for physicals, for print copies, you have to include the cost of the print and the shipping. Maybe if that form was broken out a little bit more, to include the cost of the book and then a drop down for the shipping, or if you're offering free shipping or a bundle deal or something like that, if like it was really fine tuned for print copies, I think I would absolutely love that as well.
Thank you. So I want to clarify, because I did see this come through the customer service transom, that you can change the shipping. There is a default $6 setup in the US. And I should have said at the beginning, if there's anybody calling in from outside the US, we have not rolled out international sales yet. We are working hard on that. In the US, it's default $6. You can change it. What you can't yet do is change it for individual books. So it's a flat across. And then I'm seeing in the chat some add-ons to your point, Candace, which is, people aren't shy about what they want. But I think, integration with shipping partners. Sharonda said bundles and discounts, which was a little bit related. So like having that itemization of a discount or itemization of, free shipping if you spend X, basic e-commerce functionality is definitely in our roadmap. But thanks for that. Jim or Stuart, anything to add there?
No, I think go ahead, Jim.
I don't have enough experience yet with selling to want any add-ons. I will say that among people here in the apartment building where I live, they tend to want, after they've bought the first in a series, to buy the next two, and to complete it. So the shipping thing may become a bit of a hassle there. We'll see. I've sent several suggestions directly to Tertulia. One thing I am waiting for is the ability to import my entire mail list, not just the first 50, from MailChimp, so that I can integrate everything together. That was another one of my goals with Tertulia, was to have it all there rather than going on this site and going on that site.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So we just increased to 200 and we are about to increase to unlimited.
Okay.
That said, you still will have to phase in your campaigns as you would on any email provider to have a slow rollout of the initial campaign. So it could roll out over several days while you are in that warming phase, as it's called. So as of now, Jim, you should be able to upload your whole list. If you have more than 200, you can talk to us. We will process your list, put it through a cleaning, and then upload. So I think we can kind of take some of that discussion offline because it gets a little particular to the person. But I did want to mention that we had increased the floor on that.
Yeah, it's just another example. Just another example of ask and you shall receive. You folks are terrific.
You said it. Go ahead, Stuart.
So I heard him say that he uploaded from MailChimp. Is there any way to enter the email addresses manually?
Sure. Yes. If you want to take the time, you can do it.
Yes. So you can either, I'm pretty sure in our audience portal, I don't know if you remember, Ilea, I'm pretty sure you can type it right into the audience section, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. One by one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can take a spreadsheet, Stuart, and you can upload it. You just use our template. You just want to make sure that these are people that have opted in.
Yes, understood.
So for me, I like social media. I've been on social media for a while. I have a pretty decent social media following. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 10, 15,000 across multiple platforms. So it is pretty not easy, but it's less work to generate traffic to my website because I also use on my website like events. So like if people want to know if I'll be at any book events, I drive the traffic right through that event. Like if you're interested in seeing if I'll be at an event you're at, just go to my website. I keep my events uploaded, updated. Don't forget to sign up for my mailing list and things like that. So I've not had a hard time generating traffic through my website. I'm the problem, if anything, because I should be mentioning it more. So that's like the big thing is just anything related to my site. I tend to tell people, go check out my website. I'll be at these events, or I'm selling my books here. Like before I was able to do direct sale through Tertulia, I would even have, just pull those books in from Amazon because they can click on the link and go directly to the book. Like it's been very beneficial to have a website. So yeah, that's how I've been generating traffic through my website. I've been using the features. I discuss other authors' books on my website, only positively, no negative reviews, only positively. So I use the blog section to talk about books I've been reading and how good they are. That drives traffic as well, especially from other authors, because it puts you on their radar as well. So there's like a bunch of features that you can use that help drive traffic other than just kind of like your mailing list.
Yeah. And they're asking, how'd you get so many followers?
I just interact. I talk about day-to-day things, but I was a reader before I was an author. So I like talking about books. And so that alone kind of brings you a certain level of community within social media because you're interacting with people who have things in common with you. So discussing new books, discussing book drops, book events, who has book merch coming out. And I just kind of built the following up from that. I have a podcast where we discuss books. And so I mentioned that. And so, like, I just, all the things that are me, I pulled them together to help with this author journey that I'm on.
Could I interject real quick? I know nobody knows me, but I'm like a social media expert. I've got almost 1 million followers, and you want to post at 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. are the two best times for whatever time zone you're in. And if you interact with other people, like their posts and comment on their posts, they will comment back. Like I put a post on Instagram. I made a little video of one of my book covers and put it on Instagram this morning, and I got 13,000 video views and 5,000 likes.
Ooh.
And I built the whole thing from interacting with people. So really, social media is a big thing. I also have a really big podcast, that helps, because I have a podcast it's an entertainment podcast, and it's just broke 1.3 billion downloads. But I built the whole thing by just interacting with people, be nice to everybody, support everybody in any way that you can, and they will support you back.
Thank you for that, Jimmy. But I just wanted to say, I think that you guys, this community has an opportunity to help each other. You're already helping each other all the time on these office hours and the Facebook community group, etc. But we're looking at some ways where we can help you to kind of, as we build up, hundreds and then thousands of authors per genre, to help you in cross marketing, supporting each other. And, Candace's playbook of sort of, I was a, reader before, and that's not even a playbook, it's very sincere. She's a reader and a big, reading community person before she was an author. Well, I think that, we have an opportunity to help you guys connect with like-minded readers across your audiences. So I'd love to do a focus group with anybody who's interested in that. So look for a survey coming soon about ways that we can do that and really create sort of powerful, something really powerful, I think. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, I think it's something, obviously any way you can find new readers that are targeted is great, but I think we've got this built-in audience of generous, kind of like-minded entrepreneurial people here.
And this is the season for book signings. And don't be afraid when you see those lists to say, hey, there's an event coming, a couple hours away from your location. Try to sign up. A lot of these event coordinators are looking for new independent authors. That's what feeds them for the next level. I was at an event in Raleigh just a few weeks ago, and there was like 70-ish authors there. Over half was indie. Over half was not New York Times bestsellers or anything like that. But then you have all these readers who come in who now get to see a new author, and then they start following you. I'm going to an event that is 10 years. It's their 10th anniversary this year. It's 100 authors, and it will be packed. It will be packed with readers. So also do, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but do your fall festivals if you've got them in your area. I sell and make a lot of contact with people in my own region who didn't even know I was an author. Because I'll say, oh, I'm just an author. And they go, oh, where are you from? And I'm going, 10 minutes up the road.
Amber, if you had let me ask you, for everybody who doesn't do in real life / offline, events, major opportunities for sure, but also get them on your email list, whatever you can. We've talked a lot in these office hours about ways to do that. And, QR codes and bookmarks and all of that, merch. But Amber, what if there was a Tertulia branded card reader? Would you use that? And
I would. Yeah. Currently I'm using an NFC tags.
That's right. You said that.
Yes. Yeah. So if y'all don't know those are a quick, they don't have to scan it. They just have to tap it and they go directly to your website. It's like, bam, you're there. And it's so quick, so easy. And I put it in like a little keychain and I have it in my pocket. And so, oh, okay, great. Do you have a business card? I said, well, here, let me send you to my website. And it sends them right to my website. And I did send them a little bit of information about this website too. So I always like to push this website to every author that I see. And like I said, I have my business cards at restaurants. You know, if me and my husband has our favorite restaurants, they have my business cards up front. So people can pull them out and, you know, oh, there's a local author, you know, so it's there.
That's great. Thank you, Amber. I see Jim and maybe Candace both look like they want to piggyback there. Go ahead, Jim.
I just want to mention, for those who are saying, gee, I'm on Amazon and Apple Books, and why would I even want to take the trouble of selling on my website? I think many of us are familiar with the fact that Draft2Digital, which is an aggregator which has allowed you to sell through a number of different bookstores with one sign up, has had to impose some fees over the past week because they are being inundated with what is called AI slop. Just books that are produced by artificial intelligence, and they're just being inundated by it, and their servers are crushing under the volume. AI slop is a huge problem for us independent authors, and I think one of the things about setting up your own site, selling your own books, and pushing your own brand that way is that people know that you are legit. For those that you can bring in, you have almost a direct relationship with them, and you rise above the crowd of all the junk that is floating through Amazon and Apple and all the other sites right now.
I would have to agree. So, yeah, a lot of the booksellers and book printers are imposing a lot of fees, and I don't think readers often understand how many hands are getting a piece of the author's pie when we're selling books. I mean, Amazon takes, was it 40%? Then if you say that you want to turn on wholesaler so that bookstores can buy your books, well, then they take a portion of that portion and a portion of that portion. I think Tertulia is doing a really good thing in that it's cutting out the middleman for a lot of authors, and we are able to see a lot more profit from the works that we are putting out. That is a really big thing. And then the AI stuff is an absolute nightmare. And I've been, trying to figure out what's the best way to print my books and sell them myself. Getting ready for book events, I was afraid to even ship my books to New York because I don't know if Amazon would just throw them and a lot of them would be damaged. There's things like that. So to me, it's nice to be able to sell my books and do quality control and quality analysis and make sure that my readers are getting good copy, instead of, being tagged by readers saying, oh, I bought your book from Amazon and it came damaged. I do. I've experienced a lot of that. The cover was damaged. They put it in with my soap powder, and my soap powder leaked all over my book. And so it's like, okay. So for me, I absolutely am enjoying the process of learning to be more hands-on with my selling process. So, and Tertulia has made that really easy.
That's a very impressive journey in 1 year. So good for you, Candace. Thanks for sharing all that. That's really great.
Hey, Linda.
Can I just go back to I'm a little bit off topic. I apologize. I actually came on this call because I didn't even know there was a pro level of Tertulia, and I wanted to figure out how I can actually sell my books from the site. So that's why I actually came on here. But for all of you who have social media sites and stuff, make sure that you have your website in your description. They always, every social media platform lets you put it there. And another thing that's possible to do, it costs a little bit of money, but there's a thing called Linktree. And if you have a Linktree, which I have Linktree, and it has all my sites, everything, so you could actually put every place your book is sold other places if you want it on that, or you could just keep it with just your own website. But make sure you have that, because in social media, people can click that from your Twitter handle, from your Instagram handle, and go directly to your website. And a lot of people don't do it. So just make sure that you do it, because that's a great way to generate traffic just in general. Every time they see your profile, it'll take them to your
What
site.
is the name of it, Jimmy?
Linktree.
Linktree. Thank you, Jimmy.
It's
Jimmy,
LNK tree, I think.
it's one of my bad. It's our bad that you didn't know about the pro tier. So we're going to follow up with you and tell you all about it and share a video demo and all that. And we won't do that right now since there's folks on this call who have seen pro or are already on it. But would love for you to go deeper and check that out. And
I'm definitely going to join it. I'm definitely going to join it, because
awesome.
I'm kind of well known, and I need a way to be able to sell autographed books besides going on Facebook and saying, "Hey, anybody wants autographed copies?" I need
That's
a professional way to do it.
Yeah, that's perfect for that. And I'll just say, in terms of Linktree, one of the many, many mile-long list of things that I wish we could do is create a book-specific Linktree. So Tertulia
Oh,
Tree.
that would be awesome.
I think did I hear the voice of Phil?
Yeah, I wanted to kind of run back to what Candace and others were kind of pushing around. The AI slop topic is a pretty interesting topic, but there was slop before, and there's just more slop now. What's happening with not just the book industry, but every industry right now with AI is they're using AI as an excuse to charge more money. AI doesn't really affect the bottom line. That's a lie. They don't overload servers. That's another lie. Basically, they're just using that as a crutch to charge you more money. The literary independent market is full of predators. And this has been going on for years. My mentor, Ann Crispin, who died, her whole life career was basically looking for predators and editors, which are basically individuals in the industry who target independent authors and basically are predatory and try to take money from, whether it's vanity publishing, whether it's services that really don't deliver. And that's why Tertulia is so important in this space right now, is because it's not predatory. It's actually trying to assist authors in reaching them, not only their literary goals, their financial goals, but their audience goals. And the things that they're doing and the things that I'm hearing when I got started with this was that, we needed a better way to do this. And I don't want anyone to lose focus on the fact where Tertulia is heading, and it's heading in the right direction. But I don't also want you to be confused by the fact that, these Amazon and all these companies that are coming out and saying we have to raise prices because of AI, that's a falsehood. They're just using it as an excuse to do so. Anywhere that they can stress to make more money, they will. And that's why a lot of these services are terrible for independent authors. I've heard so many horror stories. I would tell you, don't focus on the AI slop that's out there. I always tell people, run your own race, produce your own books, care about what you're doing and the quality that you're delivering. Don't look at anything around you, because before AI, I'm going to tell you, there was slop, a lot of slop. So now it just means that the slop is doubled. So I would say, don't focus on the fact that it's out there, and don't be fooled by someone telling you, oh, we have to increase our pricing because of AI. That's an excuse to charge you more money. And if you hear stuff like that, walk away quickly, because you don't want an organization to take advantage of you as a writer and an independent author. Because someone mentioned earlier, I don't have time to write or create a website, and I don't have time to pay someone for a website. Obviously, we know as independents, our funds are very limited, and Tertulia is giving us all these tools at a great rate that are going to allow us to be successful. So I would say use the services that they give. And as a technologist and as a writer, I will tell you the amount of support that Tertulia gives its customer base is unheard of in the industry.
Yes.
Now, how long that can be maintained, that's to be seen. But I think right now it's there. Use it. And use it to your advantage to get out there and create a connection with your audience. And again, I applaud Linda and her team for the amount of effort that they've put in working with us, working with the authors who generally get ignored. So kudos to the team, and thanks for everything. I mean, these meetings every Friday and getting a chance to interact with all these authors and listen to all their stories and journeys has not only given me, who's been doing this 20 years, more insights on how I can do things better. But I think it's important that we offline from these meetings, like Linda said, we get together and we discuss and we talk because there's a lot of lessons we can learn from each other. And as an independent, I'm always open to hear who's doing it better and how. The gentleman who has the huge social media experience going on with 1 million followers, I'm definitely going to start stalking him out on the web because I've only got about 92,000. So if I can get to 1 million, he can tell me how to get there.
Yeah,
I'm
Jimmy
first in
just got
line.
100
So,
more followers on this call.
that's it. That's my
Actually, you guys,
soapbox.
I am. This is Jimmy Star everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, because I promote a lot of things. I'm a movie producer. A lot of my books are based on scripts that I wrote. Um, I'm big in the horror genre, but my books are also. I'm also a pop culture collector. I have a collector's corner, podcast. I collect action figures, so I also write books on financing movies. So I do fiction and nonfiction, but all of my fiction is either like Harry Potter type young adult stuff or horror. And I'm actually decided that I needed to pick one, so now I'm basically going straight horror because it's what I like and it's the kind of movies I make and stuff like that. But if you want to follow me, I'm at This Is Jimmy Star, and if you send me a message, that you were on the call, I'll follow you back.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
And Phil, as always, so awesome, such great insights. And I just want to, I appreciate your point about the predators and editors, as Lanning was commenting.
Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here, and I'm happy that I'm in a space where I get to learn a lot. I can be vulnerable about things that I'm terrified about, and yeah. So thank you for the pro. I was able to send out my inaugural newsletter on the 1st of April. So now I'm like treading towards the selling through Tertulia, but I'm terrified that people will return books, that I will be left in the hole because of this, that scammers will try to get a hold of me. And those are some things, oh, sorry about that. So those are some things that I'm terrified about. So can anyone speak to, should I get a PO box address that I use as the return? Is there a disclaimer to say that the books need to be returned like they were before or whatever? How do I handle that?
The consensus, thank you, Denise. All good questions. And you know what? It's all about experimentation. So your fear is warranted. It's hard to be an indie author and it's hard to run any business. So totally no shade on being afraid of this stuff and anxious about it. The consensus is yes, yes, yes to PO box. So there you have it. And then I personally would just say no returns is my policy in my store. In terms of inventory management, I think somebody actually asked this question last time, but how many copies should I keep on hand? You can replay the last video. I think it was Phil who came up with a really great formula for that, but you got to figure out what works for you. Stuart, Jim, or Candace, do any of you have any thoughts on, the pitfalls that Denise is talking about, things that you learned the hard way, or things that you're kind of worried about that you're stealing against as a business owner / author?
No, I'm too new to it, so.
Me too.
You cannot take everything that comes knocking at your door. You have to do your due diligence when people are coming to you with deals and offers and things of that nature. So I have not run up against any of the scam pitfalls and things like that. But because for the most part, I do enjoy being independent as of now. It's kind of, I'm a one-woman show for the most part, but when I get emails about things, and there are a lot of emails. Oh, there are a lot of scammy emails. There's so many of them about, people can help you do this and they can help you do that. And, the number one red flag is when they're asking you to invest money. If they can do it for you, if you pay, you more than likely can do it for yourself, honestly, is what that boils down to. So I would just say be mindful of the emails. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is in the space. It probably is. And if you go And don't be afraid to Google somebody, honestly. I mean, I looked into Tertulia before I finally pulled the trigger and joined. And, I didn't see anything that gave me an immediate pause or a big red flag. So you just have to take a little extra time and do your homework and your research when you see things coming your way in the book space. And just build a network in the community, of editors. Other authors are a good resource, which is why I was very honored to be a part of this conversation, because they can lead you to non-AI resources as well, people who are artists and people who are not using generative AI and things like that. So just got to build that network of people.
That's great. I think that authentic connection with readers and other authors is at the end of the day what it's about. And you're proof of that. Sherry, you've had your hand raised. Talk to us.
Yeah, Candace covered a lot of things that I wanted to say. For sure, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. I mean, I've been writing for about 5 years now, and I have been flooded, emails, and they all start the same thing. But the baseline is, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And the last thing I want to say, though, is because I encountered a scam once early on and wasn't really sure, I started, I knew I had to check it out, and I came across Writers Beware. Now that I get their newsletter, I forget how often it comes out, but it's great because it'll tell you, not only are they sending weird, not only they're emailing you, sometimes in the past they used to call, they pretend to have great book clubs. They even have one pretend to be a library in Canada. So, but Writers Beware is a great resource to check for that.
Pretending to be a librarian is a special form of just talk.
I thought it was pretty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm going to just check out our Q&A, and then I'm going to share some of the new stuff that we're rolling out. We had some questions about, I host my website at GoDaddy. I don't know if you're on this call, Linda. In short, yes, you can switch over to Tertulia website very easily. Hi, Angelita. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. You can switch over very easily and keep your domain name. We help you transfer that over. And in terms of all of your content, transferring it over, the metadata around your books, as many of you know, is imported, and that is simple. In terms of your blog, you will have to selectively copy and paste over what you want to include, but always happy to help with that. And usually it's been a pretty streamlined process. So I would say the transition from another website over to Tertulia is really fairly easy. Another question here.
I can attest to that. I moved mine from WordPress to Tertulia, and when I was talking about the hand holding that I got from Tertulia, it was transparent.
Excellent.
I second that. I've written many websites over my career, and Tertulia is the easiest site for us as authors to make a website and to sell our books. It couldn't be easier. This
Fantastic. Love to hear that. That's awesome. Let me I'll just interject a few questions that have come up. Are we planning to talk about Substack in the near future? Yes, we're having an office hours dedicated to should you have a Substack or not. Also very personal decision. If you know us by now, you know that we believe a lot in email. And we don't only believe in email, engaging your audience through email and owning your audience through Tertulia's site, but there is value to Substack. So you got to figure out whether you want to make that investment, but we will have a session dedicated to that. And we're also going to have a session dedicated to social media. So we'll be in touch, Jimmy, to bring you in on that one. We have a question here about email funnel on Tertulia for new signups. You took my thunder away, Jeremy, because that is one of the things that I was going to share that we're working on, that we're going to roll out. Yes to first names, not birthdays, Kristen. That's a great great question. No, having more flexibility on the data that you import. We are doing first and last name. Birthday is an interesting idea among other data. If you could customize it, that would be great. Specialized newsletters, segmentation, and lists. Absolutely. Automations, yes. That is short on the list as well. And can you purchase more than one book per sale? Yes, absolutely. You have a shopping cart on your site with Pro and you can have multiple. You can have an ebook and a print book. That's something that is like seems so basic, but it's actually not the case at a lot of providers. So yeah, and Helita, you're shaking your head. So have you had anybody do a multi-book purchase yet on your site?
First of all, my apologies. I was actually supposed to be in the air today. So this is why, unfortunately, I'm just coming on board. But what I can share is, first of all, I mean, a person like me who is not tech savvy, this has been a blessing in disguise just to kind of be able to have this website, to be able to utilize this as an author, and also now to have this pro to be able to have. And I can just give you an instance for all of you that are here right now, all the authors and even yourself, which has how it was so beneficial for me just as of recent. I was a featured author at a book fest in Dallas, Texas. So while I was there, or before I was going there, my printed books did not arrive. They were on back order. So I waited and I waited and I waited, and I almost was not going to be able to attend because I'm like, well, I don't even have any books right now. You know, I would like for them to buy them direct from me as opposed to going to, of course, all the online giants, Amazon, and everywhere my book is currently. However, I had a few at home. So I said, you know what, let me just pack my things. Let me go. And what was so great about it is that I was able to go there with my books and do a bundle and sell my books that I had in front of me and add it with the audio book that just got completed that I uploaded on our website, or on my website, shall I say. And that was so amazing because they paid one price for the audio, which also included the book that I actually signed for them on site. So I just wanted to share that because I thought that was fabulous. And I'm just thankful for that program that we have now.
That is awesome. I love that anecdote. That's super, super cool. I'm so glad it worked out for you. And again, another example of the offline online sales, strategy. So that's really great to hear. And we'd love to have you back another Friday to talk more about your experience. It'd be really, really valuable for everybody. Andrea, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, just a quick question. Can we integrate Square for payment?
Not at this time. For those of you who haven't tried Tertulia Pro, we have credit card checkout and Apple Pay checkout. We have the back end is through Stripe. So I haven't heard the demand for I do think we probably need to do PayPal, especially if we're going global. I mean, it's just such a popular platform. So we are looking at that. But as of now, it's credit card and Apple Pay via Stripe.
Right, and that works out because I also have Stripe. Okay, great.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Can I
Yeah, and
just
setting up
interject?
payouts is pretty easy.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't know the protocol, but one thing about it, like Stripe is way better than PayPal because like I've had a whole bunch of crooked people buy services from me, and then they say that they didn't get it, or and PayPal never almost ever sides with the honest business person. They always side with the criminal for some reason. So like I've lost a ton of money. So I don't take PayPal like I'm a publicist. I don't take PayPal for payment for any of my services or anything anymore. I do use Square and I do use Stripe, and I think those are better. So
I agree. I totally agree. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And we very, very, explicitly, we had this conversation early on about whether or not we wanted to have both. It's complex for us to do both as well. But I think eventually we probably do need to expand that. Do we have any last questions, complaints?
Yep. Linda, I got a quick question. One, is there a opportunity for you guys to bring in feeds from social media into our sites? Is one of the things I'm questioning. And then you mentioned something about a branded reader to use at live events. Is there more behind that? Because I would definitely be interested in something like that. So,
Yeah, great questions both, as always. On the social media feed, it has come up. One of the things that we're balancing in our stack ranking of the many features that we want to develop is just generally within social media post generator. Can we help you to actually develop the content so you don't have to be messing around with, Canva all the time, et cetera? Social media feed within the website, that content. So I wouldn't say, Phil, that it's very super high on our list. It's definitely there. Obviously, if people want that who are on this call, love to hear that. We are going to continue surveying you. Always happy to hear inbound feedback. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Ilea and Angie and I are methodical about capturing that. We have an entire Slack thread that's all of you would be horrified to see the hundreds of recommendations and requests that we get, but we are methodical about capturing that and ranking it. So if people are interested in what he's asking for, definitely, double down, raise your hand virtually. And on your second question about the card reader, no, there's not anything behind it yet. It is something we are talking about. It's also not hard to execute, but we need to figure out what the demand would be for that. So again, if that's something people are interested in, love to hear from you.
Linda, quick question.
Yes.
Now that we have a print feature, is that print on demand?
No. No print on demand yet, and no fulfillment. It's just what we call author fulfilled. So you do the transaction on your site, you can market it, you can merchandise, you can sell, but you have to send it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
And yeah, of course. And I see a question about tax. You're the seller of record on the e-commerce on your site, so you do have to factor in tax when you set your prices. So can do more logistics on that stuff on another call. I think we're at the top of our hour. But this was one of my favorite office hours. Thanks for all the energy and the excitement about selling directly. I mean, we have a lot to learn too about the author's perspective and sort of how it's changing and what we can do to make this, really like a game changer for you all. So always great to get your input and your positivity, your generosity to each other. And thank you.